Arya was a little girl who lived in the kingdom of Eldred. Her parents had died when she was just a baby, and she was left in the care of her aunt and uncle. They treated her terribly, making her do all the chores around the house and barely feeding her. One day, when Arya was 6 years old, her aunt sent her to the castle to work as the king's butler. Arya was terrified, but she had no choice but to obey. The king was a cruel man who treated Arya even worse than her aunt and uncle did. He would hit her if she didn't move quickly enough or if she spilled something. Arya was so afraid that she rarely spoke and spent most of her time hiding in the shadows. The only person who was kind to Arya was the princess, whose name was Isabella. Isabella was about the same age as Arya and would often sneak into the kitchen to talk to her while Arya was working. Isabella would share her food with Arya and tell her stories about the outside world. Arya was fascinated by the stories and longed to see the world for herself. As Arya grew older, her mistreatment only got worse. Her aunt and uncle would lock her in a closet for hours, and the king would hit her with his cane if she made a mistake. Arya was so miserable that she could barely stand it. One day, after a particularly brutal beating from the king, Arya made a decision. She was going to run away. She knew it was risky, but she couldn't take the abuse any longer. As she lay on the cold stone floor, nursing her wounds, she made a plan. She would sneak out of the castle late at night and head towards the forest. She didn't know what she would do once she got there, but anything was better than staying in the kingdom. With a renewed sense of hope, Arya waited for the perfect moment to escape. She didn't know what the future held, but she was determined to find a better life for herself.